video, and it's all about how smart are you? How smart are you? I want to know. I have to keep the camera out here a little bit. Don't want to get it too foggy, but I want to know how smart you are. Because the building blocks of life are in the reality of the perfection of rebuilding the puzzle. Rebuilding the puzzle. The actual reality of the creation of all life and existence is rebuilding the puzzle. And I say that because if you understand all fixed numbers, we're going to use fixed numbers as 0, okay, to 1, or 0, 1 to 9, whichever way you want to look at it. And then you have to create from it. You must create all realities. Add them, multiply them all, add them all. Don't pound them or put them to the pound key, okay, of 9 times, because that's the highest number, but understanding how you began with 0, 1, 2 or 1, 2, 9, 0, depending which will bring you to the greater equation. So that means you can go all the way up to 12, meaning the totality of numbers is 10 realities, where 0 is nothing of the connection of two sides of 1. Otherwise, how would you determine the reality of 0? Then understand that 0 is nothing, because that's how we add it up. Because in nothing is 1, 1, and point. The point is the center between 2, and it's the halfway point because it is 2 dividing by 1 whole of 0, 360, 18, and 18. That's the reality of it. So we must work at 1 1/4 to start over for what is the actual creation of left, middle, and right, meaning that 3 is the actuality of in between of 2, so the value of 2 is less than 2, okay? It is 666 times 3, equaling to 1 whole of what 0 creates. Do you understand that? You have 3 dots, and in each dot it'll be an area that connects to the next area center. And you have to have your own center, which is intercepted unless you need a center alone, which will then bring you another area space. And that can be the actual value of the size of the dot between everything. And nothing is 10 whole, but everything is 9, because the dot of separation takes up the space in between. The touching, or the core of the egg, the egg shell, if you want. So that's what it is to numbers, because that's alpha creation, alpha, beta. Now you take letters and colors and how it formates. Eventually you're going to build a story. Eventually the story in your language is going to talk to you, because somehow, some way, if we all figured out the same answer, life would have ended thousands of years ago. Or so you can say what you want to say. But it's not me. Look it up. There's others who have said the same thing, alphanumeric. I'm doing it in the English language. If you know your way to do it in your language, balancing off the way I do between English and French and a little bit of everything else that I can add to it, like a big old smorgasbord, right? Water's getting a little, I need a little warmer, but I gotta keep it away. And the shower curtain's sticking out. I'm getting water on the ground. So anyways, yes, you multiply it. What the multiplication sign shows is actually, the multiplication is, if you want to look at Jesus carrying the cross, dragging on the ground, right? Is that the multiplication, and why he stands up and he spreads his arm out? He's actually the addition, which is also at the same time of why we have, I call it, let's say, Sad Sam, you know, the brackets, B mass, the brackets of the equation and the totality of whatever. Anyways, the last thing I want to say before putting my camera away, A, I want to finish watching. B, the water will get cold, and I don't want it to be cold. It's cold enough out right now. Is the dream period. Dead or alive? Dead or alive? You went to bed? How fast, with these numbers now, and remember, a heartbeat has to go from here to here, and that's what we use, is going from here to here is a period of time. Unless you're looking over there, you have to close your eyes, open your eyes, and look. The period of here to there, the in-between point, the dot, and all the numbers. Who are you? Are you zero that if you turn around, you're pointing the other way? Can you only point in one direction if you can see in all directions? The five senses? You go to sleep at night. You close your eyes. You keep your eyes open. What happens to the body? You think it's saying, I'm dreaming right now? No. It's working. It's not the conscience. So what's actually working when you're asleep? Is it the same as death? As you fall asleep, the heartbeat goes down, or if they dip you into the water and you go into a sleep. What if they said about people that they have put to sleep for 1,000 years? Well, not 1,000, but you know the ones in comas, if they've ever seen anything or not. Complete disconnection between the conscious and the subconscious, between the high and the low of all. We go to sleep. So when death comes upon you, if you can just go to sleep and continue that dream, where will we end up next? Or is life the end? But by following the alphanumeric and all the calculations of the star system, remember, if you multiply and you add and you put those two designs on each other and you design them on square paper, okay, you want to use triangles? We can use triangles, overlapping every single triangle until what you see left is a square because you're writing straight across. When the actual world is like that, you can slice down, you can slice this way. The filet or the darn when we're cutting up fish. Remember, when they spoke about the disciples, and if you're reading through things, what about the fishermen? The fish. What is a fish? The head and the tail. From the back end it forces. From the front end it aims and it cuts through and it goes to its heart's desire. The fish. Mark marks the spot, the disciple of the Jesus of the Christ. Did you know Jesus Christ had a numeric value of 74, 77, 151? Mars. Everything is connected. The English language and basic number alphabet from 1 through 26. You can use gematria, Chaldean, or whatever you want. There's going to be a story for everything. They're all going to link. Understanding the numbers, understanding the designs in math, and their functions, and if we need the use of the function, or is the primary set of numbers okay? Like, you can't set up just one. You have to set up one and all, and everything, for every area, because you're in between. The seed, the flower, the plant. If there is creation of any sort, and life had to be built on something, it made itself perfect. It destroys, recreates, and somehow we found a way to save the mind. What we lose is the mind during life, as the body is still alive. We regain afterlife, that when the body is dead. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Are you an atheist? Do numbers. But don't believe that God exists. But understand the numbers and the reality and perfection, elements, weights and measures, time zones, how timing works on cars and gears to make the structure of life possible. For the element of electricity, constant energy exploding one after the other. You drop the fire onto the paper burns, turns to ash. The water comes from somewhere, the heat makes the water rise, the heavy metals that are in the earth turning back to ashes in rotation over and over and over and over. When does life end? Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. This one's ending now. Have a nice day. Hi, Red A.